We're gonna start in seated, and let's actually start in butterfly. So bring those feet together, bring them as close as feels good for your body. Someplace where you can let the legs relax, and if you need the hands to grab the ankles or shins to kind of hold you up straight, then grab those. Or if you don't need them, you can just let the hands kind of rest on the knees, palms facing up. Let's just close the eyes for a moment and just land. Feel your sitting bones rooting down into your mat. As you inhale, find that long spine. Tuck the chin slightly to feel a little extra length up through the back of the neck. And exhale, relax, let the legs relax, let the spine relax. Almost like these little mini cows and cats on the inhale. Pull the hips forward just a little, lift the heart just a little. Maybe the chin lifts this time. And then exhale, let it go. Let's do 2 more of those. Slowly letting that cow and cat get a little bigger. And then the next time you inhale up, let's pause there. Draw those knees down as close to the floor as they will go as you pull your hips forward. Finding that breath. And let's bounce those knees. So I bring my hands behind me when I do this and kind of lean back just a little bit. And so it can just be a little gentle bounce. It can be a really vigorous, dynamic bounce if your hip and knee can take that. So my knee is really stiff this morning, so I'm just going with these little kind of baby bounces. So find the right movement for your body in this moment. Again, you can really get this going fast and vigorously if it feels good, or you can just keep it a little gentler. All right, and let's draw those knees down, grab those ankles or feet again, sit up tall, pull the hips forward as you draw the knees on down. All right, and let's release that and flip on around to tabletop. And spread those fingers wide, just like you would for down dog. Press away from the floor, draw the belly in, lift that left knee up off the floor and just start making a circle with it. Keep your core strong as the circle gets bigger. And as big of a circle as you can make. Let's go nice and slow. So you're coming in and you're almost brushing that inside of the knee with the other one, and then you're bringing it back, starting to lift it up and bring it out to the side, almost like that fire hydrant one that we do, and then bring it forward almost to the elbow, and then in, back, almost like you're stretching the leg out, and then forward. So just really trying to make a nice big circle. Let's go the other direction. Doesn't matter which direction you were going. Same thing, nice and slow. Core's got to work with you here, especially when you bring that knee out to the side. All right, let's bring it on down. Take those knees a little wider. Lift those hands up as you press those hips back to extended child's pose. Draw the belly in as you push the wrists forward. So you're on those fingertips, pushing the wrists forward, pulling the hips back. Tuck the chin slightly and lengthen from tail to crown. Find the breath. And let's bring it on back for that other side. So finding our tabletop again, press away, get that core going. Make sure those knees are right underneath the hips. Lift that right knee up. Just start making a circle either direction. Just do a few smaller circles to start. And slowly letting that circle get bigger. And finally making that nice big circle. Use that core. Keep that belly button pulling way up into the spine. It's almost like you want to keep a little tuck of the tailbone. Other direction, keeping that nice big circle. And bring it on in. Come on up to downward facing dog. Press it on back. Take those feet wide. Take the hands a little wider. Open them up to relieve the pressure on those wrists a bit. And press on back. Draw that belly in. Let the head relax. Maybe give it a little wiggle like we do in ragdoll. Draw the heels down. Push the hips back. And bend those knees. Walk the hands to the feet. Grab those elbows when you get there to stretch out those wrists. So grab the outsides of the elbows. Drop the arms, but hold the elbows. So feel those arms falling from the shoulders. They're just dead weight. The hands are the only thing keeping those arms from falling to the floor. Let the head drop a little more. There's a nice bend in the knees, so you can almost lay right down on the thighs. Or as close as you can get, and then just let go. Let's swing it from side to side. And drop to center, drop the arms, take it on up nice and slow. Stretch those arms out to a T when we get up there for our good old staff of Brahman. Bend the knees, hands to the heart. Nice inhale up. Nice releasing exhale, hinge, dive it down. Nice big inhale overhead, bend those knees. Nice releasing exhale, take it down to the floor. Sorry, move my mat a little bit. I realized I can come a little closer. And dropping into our ragdoll once again. This time let those arms dangle from the shoulders. Let them just fall towards the floor. All right, let's take it up nice and slow again on this one. Next time we'll come up faster. Stretching those arms out when you get up there. Bringing them up and back to the heart, bend the knees. All right, let's take it with the breath. Nice big inhale up. Nice releasing exhale, dive it down until you feel those hamstrings, back to those legs. Half lift inhale, bend those knees, sweep the arms forward and take it down. Let it go. When you're ready to inhale, one big inhale all the way up, a little faster than before, and then back to the heart, exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale overhead, exhale to the floor. All the way up, nice inhale, back to the heart. One more time at your own pace. Opening those toes, dropping it down to yogic squat when you're ready. Dropping that bottom down as low as it will go. Hopefully you can get yours lower than mine. My knee is tight this morning. Take those elbows, push those knees as far away as they'll go as you draw those thumbs as close to the heart as they'll go. How close to the floor can you get that bottom? Draw the belly in, sink the sitting bones down as you lengthen through the crown. Bring the fingertips to the floor, lean forward. See if you can get the palms to the floor. Bend the elbows and dive the chest down towards the floor, like you're just trying to get your nose to the floor. And then go ahead and walk those hands forward back to our downward facing dog. And press it on back. So feet are now on railroad tracks, so bring them in so they're about 6 inches apart or so. And let's take the hands a little wider than usual. They don't have to be super wide. We're gonna lift a leg. And so if you're not used to doing this 3-legged dog or your wrists bother you, having a wider stance with the hands can help. And you can open them up a little bit so your index finger is aiming forward. You don't have to. If you know that you don't need to do that, then don't do it. But it is helpful to make this a little bit gentler. So let's go ahead and take that left leg up. Draw the right heel down. Bring the hips square, so don't let it fly open. Bring it down so your hips are still square. Press back as you draw the right heel down. Look back at that right ankle. See how high you can lift that left leg. Now lift the right heel off the floor as high as it will go. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, kick that foot through. Take a moment. It doesn't always get all the way through. A lot of times you've got to grab it, like literally it gets stuck here, and you got to give it a little help to get forward, or just wiggle till you get into a low lunge. So take a moment to find your low lunge. Your knee can drop down if you like, or you can walk your fingertips back so the fingers are right underneath the shoulders. Bring that left hip down so it's right behind the knee. If the back knee is up, lift it up without the hips lifting up. So you're lifting the knee up, pressing back through the heel and lengthening from heel to crown. So if your knee is down, same thing though. Everything else is the same. The knee is just down. Go ahead and drop that knee down. If it's not, top of the foot comes down. Inhale up. So let's scooch that foot over just a little bit, that front foot, that left one. Square off the hips. So we're going to come into Anjaneyasana. That's going to be our inhale. You can let that knee fly open. It's a little different variation. It's totally fine. And we're going to exhale, hands together, dive down inside that leg, almost like we're going to come into lizard. And then kind of slide the fingertips in towards us, sweep them back out and up into our Anjaneyasana. Dive it down. Bend those elbows, dive your head towards the floor, slide the hands in underneath you, sweep them back out. So you got to kind of push the hips back to get there. Once you get up here, sink back down, dive it forward, dive down, come back up, sweep those arms out. So as much as I love to do this with the breath, sometimes it just doesn't work with the breath. All right, one more time. Next time we come up, we're going to pause there. Okay, so still got that foot wider than usual. Square off the hips, sink down. So bend that front knee and just drop those hips down, reach up, lift the heart, draw the heart up, reach up, draw the arms back. That's what I meant to say. Dive it down inside that foot. So bring the hands to the floor inside the foot. That left hand is right up against the heel, and the other foot, or the other hand's right up. Oh dear God, right underneath you. Inhale, push up. Exhale, dive it down. Inhale. Exhale. And next time you bend those elbows, hold it there, only as deep as feels good. And press back up, tuck those back toes under, lift the knee up, start spinning to the side, to the right. Okay, your feet are not going to be even. You're going to have to take a moment to get those feet even. Walk the hands in underneath you. Come on up to fingertips, half lift, inhale. Exhale, see if you can get the palms to the floor. If you can get there, maybe you can bend the elbows and dive a little deeper. Find your forward bend. And come back up, open those right toes out, shift over to the right. So just bend that right knee and drop the bottom down. So we're now in this kind of half yogic squat, right? Extended yoga squat. So this leg is extended. This one is in our yogic squat. Okay, hands are in front of us. Okay, so if your heel comes off the floor, try and bring your hands closer to you and drop your butt down so that your heel comes to the floor. Okay, so blocks are great here on this one if you need them, but if we just take our hands a little wider, we can usually do it. So we're looking to do exactly what we did in our yoga squat. Dive forward. Okay, so keep your hands, move your hands to wherever you feel like you need to move them so that you feel like you can come straight down. So you're bringing your chest towards the floor. So I'm bringing mine wider. I'm actually going to take this one, this in your case would be your right elbow, and push the right knee open as I bend that elbow and dive down. Take a little deeper stretch. Breathe, 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 breathe. Slowly take it over to the other side. So take a moment. Find that place on the side. Use that elbow to push that knee open if you can. Try not to spin to the left. Try to stay nice and square so your head is right in line with the hips as you dive forward. This side's so much harder for me. All right, take your time coming back to center. Square off, get everything back where it belongs. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, dive. Coming right back up for our twist. Left palm plants underneath the nose. If you can't reach the floor, use a flat block. It's perfect to kind of get you to that place where you can get a nice straight arm. So straighten out the legs, push away from the floor, open up into your twist, bring the arm behind the back, spin that heart open. As you're spinning the heart, you're trying to open the hip too. So that right hip is lifting up and open to the side. It's like you're drawing your left inner thigh to your right inner thigh till you can get a stretch. We're looking for a stretch in that left inner thigh. So pull that left inner thigh over into the twist. Breathe. Come to center, switch hands. Other side, bring that arm around the back, start to push away from the floor, straighten the legs, start to spin that heart open. You want to feel like your head is right in line with the center of the hips. Pull that right inner thigh over to the left. How open can you get that left hip to the side? Breathe. Come to center, half lift. Inhale. Exhale, dive it down. Bend the knees, start spinning back towards the front of your mat, spinning your feet with you as you go until you feel like you can step to the front. Feet together, knees together, Utkatasana, chair pose. So it could be a little baby gentle chair way up here. It can be a really strong, challenging chair way down here. If you're way down low, shift the weight into your heels. You should have the weight in your heels anyway, but when you're higher up, it doesn't matter as much. Come all the way up, inhale. Exhale, let those arms float down. Give the shoulders a little roll. Inhale up. Exhale, dive it down, careful on your way. It's a little bouncy with those feet together. Find your forward bend, nice flat back. Pull that heart forward, pull the shoulders back. Find your depth. Bend the knees, step the feet back to plank. Take a moment to find that nice solid plank. Push up, knees down, push up again, push up some more. Inhale. Exhale, bring that chest down to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Tuck those toes, push straight up, nice and now. And push those hips back to those heels, keeping your toes tucked under. See if you can get that big toe nice and tucked under. And take it on up to our downward facing dog. So again, take those hands wide and open them up a bit to make this a little easier if it's not your favorite thing to do. It makes it much more accessible if we take those hands a little wider, because then we can push the hips back far enough to lift the leg up, right? You can even walk your hands a little closer if you need to. Draw your left heel down, float your right leg up. Square off that hip. So if that right hip's opening to the side, bring it down. Draw that left heel down, push back, look back at that left ankle. See how high you can lift that right leg without the hip opening. Peel that left heel up off the floor as high as it will go. Look forward, inhale, swing it through. Take a moment, readjust, get nice and low into our low lunge. If you drop the knee down on the other side, go ahead and drop it down on this side. Walk those fingertips back. Sink that right hip down till it's right behind the knee. Find that length. If your knee's up, lift the knee up, 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 up as you sink the hips down to wake up the front of that hip. And then go ahead and float that knee down. Top of the foot comes down. Sweep those arms up for our Anjali Asana. Okay, and let's take that right foot over to the side a little bit. Okay, we'll start our, let's see if we can do it with the breath. Now that you know where we're going, maybe you can do it with some longer breaths. So let's come up into Anjali Asana. Inhale, bring it back a little. Exhale, hands together, dive it down. When you get there, bend those elbows and dive that head right on down. Slide the hands in and then up. Inhale. The inhale kind of starts on our way up. That leg is in the way. You gotta kind of flow it up. One more time. The next time those arms come up overhead, hold it there. Again, that knee is wider than it often is, so let it go. Let it open up as you sink the hips down. Reach up, lift the heart, go back a little, breathe. Dive it down inside that foot. Find the fingertips first, and then the palms. Get that hand right up against the heel. Sink into that right hip. Both hips drop down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, dive it down. And the next time you push up, finish there, tuck those toes under, this time hopping forward right from here into our yogic squat. Take a moment, find that place, see how low you can get. I'm gonna have some guy knocking on the door here in a minute. So I'm gonna have to pause this because boy, that half hour flies by fast. Take a seat, walk those hips back a little bit, stretch those legs on out straight. Wiggle those sitting bones back. Inhale up. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale up. Exhale, dive. One more time. And coming on up, bringing that right foot in to the inner thigh, as high up the inner thighs feels right for you. If that hip really tends to open when we do that, so lift that. I just say left and I did left. So if I'm not in mirror image, sorry. Lift that hip up and bring it forward if you can. And come on forward into your Janu Shirshasana. It's one of the challenges when I don't have anybody here in studio right now, but going back and forth between mirror image and not. I used to joke this one day I wasn't going to know my left from my right. I think I'm almost there. All right, let's come on up, sit up nice and tall and twist to the right, to whatever that bent knee is, twist to that side. And then extend that arm up again on the bent knee side and come on over into your side bend. Root down into that hip. Come on up, bring it into butterfly, bound angle. Draw those knees down, pull those hips forward. And let's slide that other leg straight. Bring those hips back, reposition those hips before you find this side. Take a moment. Coming on forward with a nice flat back. I'm just working on trying to get my knee bent enough here. So you all do, come on forward. Find your breath there. And bring it on up, sit up nice and tall, twisting to the bent knee side. Breathe. Come on back, reach that arm up, that bent knee side, and come on over into your side bend. And stretching that other leg out straight. Let's kick those feet wide real quick, just to get into these inner thighs a little bit more. And come on forward. So if you're really tight here, push from behind. So push the hips forward from behind. If you have a little more space, feel free to dive it forward. And come on back. So we're going to actually end in a seated meditation today just because we're short on time. So before we do that, we're going to do a quick seated figure 4 here. So bring that left leg forward a little bit so the knee is bent. Lean back until you can get that ankle on top of that thigh, that left ankle, or sorry, Jesus, right on top of that thigh, and flex that foot. So you're kind of just hanging out, leaning back here. If that's hard, like this is already challenging for you, that's where this is going to stay exactly like that. And you're just going to walk your hands forward. If you're a little more flexible, you might bring that left foot a little closer. You might even work towards kind of a cradle the baby. That's a lot. We don't have the hips super warmed up for that. So even though I just did a class that warmed up for that, it's almost like it's undone already. So I can't even do it. So figure 4 is as good as it gets. All right, let's switch sides. We're just trying to sit up straight, even if our hands have to stay behind us to push us up straight. Find that breath. Should be feeling something in the back side of that left glute. And release into cross-legged. Either leg in front. So we're going to switch them and then come on forward. Lift that heart. Bring it forward as far. This feels okay for your body. If you want a little more, you can flex the feet. It's almost like a mini fire log. And release and bring that other leg in front. I tell you to do it and then I try and do it. And I know I can't. I still try. Someday, someday, someday. And coming on up, sit up nice and tall. Nice inhale. Exhale, twist to either side. Quick twist, twist, twist. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, other side. And come back to center, hands on the knees. Nice inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more. And finding a long spine as you let those eyes close and those shoulders drop down. Let's have the palms facing down on the knees if possible. And if for whatever reason you can't sit in cross-legged, feel free to come into kneeling, or even for me, sometimes this has to be, I have to unwind the legs and just sit up like this. So if cross-legged doesn't work for you, then find a different seat. Someplace where you can let the shoulders relax, let the face and jaw soften, find the breath. Let's bring the right hand to above the heart. So it's on the upper chest, like right below the collarbone. Pull the belly in slightly as you try and bring all of your breath right underneath that hand. And 3 breaths. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Bring that hand down to the solar plexus. You might have to kind of tuck up underneath there to actually make contact. It's right where that sternum is, right in that area. And now try to find the breath there. So the breath is balanced between the chest and the belly. It's this diaphragmatic breath. We want to feel the center of the ribs expanding in all directions. As you inhale right into that hand. And then the belly, below the belly button. Or right on the belly button even. Filling up those lungs full enough to find that nice deep breath. And then let the hands come back to the knees. Feel the breath in the whole torso. Bring the hands to the heart. And press those hands into the heart center, tuck the chin. Now bringing that breath to the heart center, breathing right into this place. As though you could breathe in and out through the heart. Let's take one more breath here. A nice inhale. And on your exhale, drop it down around the spine. Say thank you to yourself for showing up here on your mat.